Hey.
32 years ago, the School of Living Ethics moved onto this 6.5-acre property, and I especially loved a green belt on the southeast side of the property. For a long time, the children were small, so they didn't play that far away from the back schoolyard. But in time, we had 8- and 9-year-olds here, and they discovered that area. And they decided that was the perfect spot to set up homesteads and forts and clubs. So they started moving in. I called it the Children's Village. So they gathered everything they could find and even brought junky things from home. They started off with logs and tires and branches. I began to see what fun they were having, so when I would trim the trees, I'd trim the branches and put tree branches over there for them to build with. So their structures got more and more elaborate. In time, we put 2 tree houses in there, and so those are part of their town, which they decided to rename that area Peacetown. Well, Peacetown offers some of the most important curriculum for peace out of everything we do at school. You see, there's stage 1, when all the children descend on Peacetown and they start building. They sweep out spaces for their homes. They set up hotels and banks. The last currency was pinecone currency. And some people decide to be the mayors, and they have elections, and sometimes they even have a police force. So, but mostly, they just set up households. Things disappear from our kitchens and around the school so that they can fill up their kitchens. And just anything they can find around here becomes a treasure to put in their households. Well, for a while, when they're setting up Peacetown together, everything is very nice. And everybody is getting along great. But then things happen, like somebody drags away a stump that they thought was just up for grabs, and the stump owner gets very angry and upset. Or somebody says, hey, that tire you guys put in your house belongs in my household. Or somebody moves into a household with 10 pine cones, and meanwhile they've been spending their pine cone money, and then they decide to move out of the household, and they want to take all 10 pine cones with them, and the others disagree. So they have big disagreements in Peacetown. You know what? It's kind of like big disagreements over property rights that grown-ups have. It's the very same thing. So what do? We can go to war, we can fight each other over it, we can scream and yell, and then that can descend into hitting each other. So that's not a very attractive choice, though. So instead, what we have to do is come to the negotiating table, and we have to mediate, and each one needs to have a voice, and each one learns to listen to the other's voice. And this goes on, and when we understand people's claims, and when we're able to come to a consensus and agreement about what's a just way to handle the situation, then they're ready to go play again. This happens again and again, year after year at Peacetown. Like I said, it's our greatest curriculum for peace. It's where they're learning firsthand. And so I say, as we work toward the badly needed peace on our planet, let us not forget that the ability, the skill, like any skill, is built in childhood. Childhood is so important for learning to listen to one another, to work out agreements. If every single person who graduated from school understood this method and used this method, we would never, ever again have another war on the planet. War would seem absolutely ridiculous, and we could live happily ever after because we would be collaborating and cooperating with one another. So I consider this an important backdrop for the banner of peace, to remember the children, remember their curriculum, and remember that their curriculum, their best curriculum, may not be set up by grown-ups directing things. It may come by setting them free in wild nature and letting them have disputes and gently and carefully guiding them to solve those disputes and establish their first societies of peace among themselves. The world's future depends on it. So, thank you.